Oh, there we go. The headlights and fans are pretty much done. Just got to tidy up that spot where the original fuse box used to cover all the original mess. Might try and get a Series 2 cover for it. But yeah, headlights are working nicely. The fans just need one more wire to trigger them and they'll work. So yeah, not bad at all. That's the loom for the headlights on this side. Just got to make it run a little nicer. I'm about to run the trigger for the fans, but because there's a thermal switch on the radiator down there, and there's also another wire spliced into it from the ECU to trigger it if the aircon comes on and so forth. But I've made a bit of a mess of the wiring for all that. Might have to tidy all that up next. Oh well, shit happens. Well, let's give the lights a go, eh? I'll walk over here. It's just flashing them. No beam, high beam. Nice and crisp and responsive. Cool. Well, I got the radiator thermal switch connected up now, so the loom goes down there, connects up here to a negative, it's negative trigger, and that goes off to the relays, and then that will plug into the wiring here to trigger it off the aircon. But as you see, it's just an abortion down there at the moment, because whoever did this job loved covering everything in conduit. They just put it everywhere. You pull it back and you find shit like this. Twist and tape, so you've got one wire running into two, which goes into a fusible link, or two of them, which then go back into one wire. So it was completely pointless doing that. I don't even know why they got fusible links there. So, because the alternator is the only thing that would need them, but it doesn't seem to join up to this. So, I don't know. I'll have to work it all out before I can go any further. So you've got to work out what the wiring does before you can fix it. So, twisted, tape, everything else. Fun. I went to the trouble of putting plugs on it. Joy. Well, I had a look back here, and that's a positive post there that the battery's connected to from the other side. And they've connected up what looks like a 50 amp wire to the cabin with one of their magic solder jobs in the terminal. And there's what looks like a 10, maybe 15 amp wire coming off that as well. So we're talking, you know, a 200 amp feed here with an unfused 10 amp wire there, maybe 15 amp, which runs across here, splices into two, then goes to two 24 amp fusible links, then goes to like a 25 amp wire and then disappears to the engine. And that's a continuous line. So that's special. That's really special. I don't know what the rest of it does, but I'll have to get the under dash cover off and have a look. And I'll probably have to cut all the engine loom back and yes, magic. Yay. I found that they did the old bolt in the end of the hose trick and hid it down there so no one could see it. It's zip tied all the way down there. I was wondering where that hose went. So yeah, might try and get a proper blanket for that. And on the front of this engine, as you can see, they kind of let a hose get a little bit close to the water pump pulley. Just a little close. It's been rubbing on it nicely. Have to move that away and do a few other little things up the front here. I've got to cut all this loom back and see what the hell's going on. There, a mess. Well, I've turned the ignition on. I've just put a little wire here just so I can test the fans. Because yeah, there's no point connecting it all up to this mess yet. So, let's see what happens. Nice. sound a little bit used, the motors, especially that one. Cool. Well, I've got it running. Battery's a bit low, but you can hear the alternator whistling away. But there's still a few little issues, I think, because the alternator wiring is just a mess, so I've got to fix that all up. Just put the headlights on, and it just doesn't like it. And that's the standard wattage headlights, so that shouldn't happen. So the alternator could be just a bit shagged as well, but let's get all the wiring right before we start replacing parts. Yeah, that's just no good. If I bring the revs up, the alternator is working, but just at low revs it's not good enough. So I'll have to look into that. And put the fans on. Just not enough. Put it on high fan in here. But there's definitely more wiring to be done. But so far everything's working much better.